What's going on? It's your boy Sermon at Sermon's Domain on Twitter. Diddy is back with his first project in many years. He's starting, kind of his farewell tour, I guess, because he signed to Epic Records. Bad Boy is over there now, and then he said he was putting out two projects. One is the one that we got here, and then the other is No Way Out 2. It's coming out next year, and he said he's gonna tour, and that will be his final album. After that, he's done. He wants to, kind of fall back from music and live life. He has 6 kids and stuff. So the album that we got today was actually a free album, and it was the album we've been hearing about for a long time as well. It's called Money Making Mitch, or MMM for short. I really like the intro, because it kind of sets up the album, like the concept, like what if Money Making Mitch survived, and then the rest of the material kind of like focuses on that, like that hustler mentality, and what would have happened if he did survive. But it's also loosely based. It's not like it's not. It's a loose narrative, I guess. The concept is there, but it's not like a cinematic type of album. It's not very storytelling, I guess. But I gotta say that Diddy can still executive produce the hell out of an album, because the production is really good on here, and I think he chose good guest features. At first, I was kind of skeptical about some of them. Like, you see like random ones like Wiz Khalifa, and it's like, what? Like Travis Scott as well. But I gotta say, like in Wiz's case especially, he held his own. It was actually one of my favorite records, was All or Nothing with French Montana and Wiz Khalifa, and Wiz, killed his verse. I like that. But like I said, it was, I can't really judge him on like the guest features. I thought it was a little bit weird. I wasn't sure what to expect out of some of them, but at the same time, it's been years since we got a Diddy album, so there's there's no formula for who should be on the album. I mean, it was nice to see Lil' Kim. It's nice to see King Los over the album, and then you had Jadakiss and Styles P on Every Day. Two of the standout guest features right there. Jadakiss and Styles P. They don't disappoint when it comes to like stuff like this, but I gotta say this, they did get overshadowed by Pusha T. Pusha T spit a verse that, if he was an unsigned artist and I heard this verse, I would sign the man on the dotted line quick, because his verse on Every Day makes me that much more excited for King Push. It makes me want that album now. Like, I don't want to wait till 2016, which it looks like I'm gonna have to. I want the album now. That's how strong the verse was. It might be one of Pusha T's best guest features ever, and that was really like the highlight of the album to me. But on the Diddy side of things, the Diddy's highlight was Help Me. I feel like, we know Diddy doesn't write his rhymes, but just the way that was written, for whoever wrote it, it sounds like it might be like a Los type of record that he wrote for Diddy. And I like that Diddy's kind of like highlighting his history, talking about what he was doing in the 90s, prior to Bad Boy and leading up to it, like all the achievements, kind of like an autobiography, I guess, in a way. And I really like that joint a lot. It was one of the standouts for me. And the second half was kind of disappointing. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with this, but I feel like it's too much French Montana. There's like, 3 or 4 features from him. I don't really need that much. I get it, French Montana's under Bad Boy, but at the same time, I just don't want to see, that much French Montana. And that's not hating on French at all. I appreciate him as an artist, at times. But, it was a little too much, especially because he just dropped, Coke Zoo. I also feel like out of that second half, the one record that really stood out to me was You Could Be My Lover. And I feel like Ty Dolla $ign should have kept that for himself, because he pretty much takes over that record. Like, the only parts that I remember are like Ty Dolla $ign's hook, his verse, He definitely would have been better off with that record, putting it on like a free TC or something. Um, and then there was a skit that I didn't like, "Happily Ever After." And in general, man, I feel like a lot of skits in hip hop, at least today, aren't as memorable. They're just kind of there. And when it comes to skits, also a lot of artists, instead of making them their own separate song, they kind of tack it on to the end of the song. But I'm actually glad that Diddy didn't do that in this case, and so it's easier to get rid of "Happily Ever After." I felt like the voice was kind of weird. It just didn't make sense in the context of the entire album. I just feel like it was one of those moments that I don't need. So should you download this? I say do it. Go for it. This is Diddy's first project in a long time, so of course you need to listen to it. Everybody's been talking about it. I've even seen people say that this is like the best modern New York album they've heard in a long time, which is some very high standards. I don't feel the same way, but I can definitely understand why people feel that way, especially with the state of New York hip hop, just the you know all over the place, I guess. But I have three questions for you guys. Does Diddy still sound good as an artist? Did anybody kill a verse harder than Pusha T? I gotta throw that out there. Or you can just answer, who was your favorite guest feature? It might not have been Pusha T. And finally, are you more excited for No Way Out 2? I'd like to answer that and say that I feel like Diddy put himself in a ridiculous position because no matter what he does, no matter how good No Way Out 2 is, he'll never top the original. But I'm going to give it a chance, of course. I'm going to listen to it. But it's kind of like with the game and the documentary, too. I didn't really like the documentary, 2. 2.5 was good, but 2, I just wasn't into it. And I feel like Diddy's going to, do that to himself. And I hope it's at least a good album. I'm not expecting him to surpass No Way Out. If he did that, I would go out and buy 10 copies, but it's not gonna happen. My closing statement. So, Diddy hasn't released the album in years, but MMM is a nice warm up. While No Way Out 2 definitely isn't the best idea considering, that whole sequel curse. It could still end up being a solid album. Still, he's already set himself up, for failure to them high expectations. But for now, MMM is not a bad effort. It's a pretty good album. It's definitely worth your time. And once you listen to it, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you're not already, share the video. Follow me on Twitter at SermonsDomain. And as always, thank you for your time. I appreciate you for watching. And until next time, peace.